Hello and welcome back to another video. Now, a couple of weeks ago I posted a video about how to charge the leisure batteries in your camper van using an electric vehicle charging point. And I have to say I was really surprised by all the comments that were made on that video and some of the questions as well. But most of those questions were like this one, left by Nama Stevens. I wonder how much it costs to charge the Bluetti from 0 to 100%. Any guesses? And also Philip Williams. Great video, Mel. Thank you, Philip. How much did it cost you to charge up? How long were you there? And Chris Tate goes on to say, hi Mel, another great video. Quick question, would you consider doing a video on the cost of charging, say, a Bluetti EB70 or another power pack from 0% from one of these electric vehicle chargers, as they seem to be the most common ones used? So today I'm going to answer that question by plugging this brand spanking new Bluetti AC180 into an electric charging point to see how long it will take to charge, and more importantly, how much will it cost. Now, this Bluetti is fresh out of the box, never been charged before, so it's a perfect opportunity to try this experiment. Right, let's get this brand spanking new Bluetti AC180 plugged into an electric vehicle charging point and get this experiment underway. Now you'll notice it's actually first thing in the morning. There's nobody else here in the Tesco's car park, so I've got no worries about getting disturbed. I'm not upsetting any other EV drivers, and I did say this in my last video, if you're going to use a pod point in a Tesco's car park, then do it early on a Sunday morning or late on a Saturday night when Tesco's is actually closed. And by doing that, you're not going to upset anybody. And also, I've not actually parked in the EV driving bay, I've parked in the bay next to it, so if an EV car does come along, I'm not going to get told off for parking in an EV parking bay. So now I need to go onto the app and log in so that they know to charge my account the charging fee. So I go onto my account, there's my current balance. My current balance is £4.86. You can just see it there. I'm on the machine clay chip. I'm charging on point B, so I've pressed confirm, charge confirmed. There we go. So now my Bluetti should be charging in the van. So let's jump back in the van, take a look and see what power we're drawing from this electric vehicle charging point. Well, I'm pleased to say it's actually working, and the Bluetti is drawing, and it's kind of fluctuating between 700 watts and 550 watts. Let me just zoom you in so you can see a little bit better. There you go, hopefully you can see that. Yeah, it's kind of pulsing up and down, so it should charge quite quickly, I think, and it's already at 35%. Now you can clearly see it underneath the percentage sign, it says 1.6H, and I do believe this is indicating that it will take just over 1.5 hours to actually charge this. So it'd be really interesting to see how accurate this actually is. Now, whilst we wait for the Bluetti AC180 to charge up, let's take a look at some of its features. Here's a little video I made earlier. So here it is, this is the brand spanking new Bluetti AC180, and as the name would suggest, it has a built-in inverter that is capable of delivering 1800 watts, and it's a pure sine wave inverter, so it's safe to use with all your delicate appliances such as laptops, tablets and computers. And all that power is delivered via these two plug sockets up here, and they are nice and flush as well. They're not inserted or indented, they're nice and high, therefore you can plug all those chargers and adapters into this with no issues. Well done, Bluetti, for listening to people complaining about having plugs down the bottom, or either they're inserted into an insert so you can't plug some chargers in. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Remember, it is 1800 watts between the two, not each. And that 1800 watt pure sine wave inverter draws its power from a whopping great big 1152 watt hour LiPo 4 battery that is capable of doing more than 3500 life cycles over 10 years. Now, not only can this unit take care of all your AC needs, it can also give you DC power as well via this 12 volt 10 amp outlet here, which is just basically a standard cigarette lighter port. It also has an array of USB ports, one of them being a USB-C, which can give you 100 watts, so you can actually charge and power your laptop from this USB-C port. And because it's got another 4 USB ports as well, plenty of charging power there. But it doesn't end there either. It has a 15 amp wireless charger built in on top, so you can simply place your mobile phone on top of here and it will charge. Let's just put this back in the middle of the table before I drop it. So let's turn this on and take a close look at the screen. And the one thing I do like about this is the fact that it has got proper on-off switches. It's not touch button. You don't have to press and pause. You can simply press it, flick it on at the flick of a switch. Good old school stuff. I really like that. Watch this. Flick it on, you see, it turns on. And to turn on all the DC ports, simply flick a switch. And the same goes for our 240 volt inverter. Just flick a switch and it is on, I hope. Yep. And there you are. It's really nice. I do like the fact you can just flick a switch and it turns on, unlike some of the other power packs. Now, each side of the center display, which is our state of charge, we have our input and our output. So when this is plugged into, say, a solar array, it will tell you how many watts are going in, and if you've got something plugged into the unit, it will tell you how many watts you're drawing. But it doesn't end there either. Underneath the state of charge display is also a timer, and it tells you how long you've actually got at its state of charge. So if you're drawing power from it, it'll tell you how long you can actually draw that amount of power for. So if you're watching your favourite TV programme, say, it will tell you how long you can actually have to watch the TV. Or if you're charging any devices, it will tell you how long you can charge that said device. Nice little useful feature, that. Now, on this side of the AC180, this is just simply a cooling fan and nothing else. But on the other side, we've also got another cooling fan and also our inputs. And you'll notice it's got an RCD as well. I've not seen this on any other power pack. So if there happens to be some kind of power surge, this will trip out and stop your AC180 getting damaged by that power surge. Also, another feature I've not seen on any other power pack is an earthing point as well. So if you're camping, you can actually attach an earthing spike to this. The only other time I've seen one of these earthing points is actually on a petrol generator. Never seen one on a solar generator before. A really nice safety feature, I do believe. Now, we've also got our AC input here underneath this dust cover. You can see it's just a standard 3-pin appliance plug. So to charge the AC180, we'd simply take our lead. I mean, we all know how this works, right? You simply plug that in, and then the other end you plug into your wall socket, and hey presto, you can charge your unit. But what if you want to use solar power? Well, for that we come back to the front of the unit. You simply plug into this port above the 12 volt outlet. Using the supplied cable, simply plug it in, one end, and then this end you have your MC4 connectors, which you can plug into any solar panel up to 500 watts. Now, of course, when you're driving your vehicle, you don't want to use solar. You can always use your vehicle's alternator via this 12 volt cigarette lighter socket. You simply plug this end into your dashboard and the other end into the AC180. And whilst you're driving your car or your van, this will then take charge from your alternator. It's pretty much free energy, really. Fantastic. Right, so with all that out of the way, let's actually plug something into this and see what it can do. So there's one test I like to do on all the power packs that I do video reviews on, and that is to see if they can run a diesel heater. So let's do that next. But to try it out, I've got a plug here that is plugged directly into my diesel heater. We're not going to plug it in just yet. Like I say, I'll need to turn everything off first. And to do that, I'll simply use my Bluetti app, because all I'm going to do is simply turn off the Bluetti that's underneath my bed, and that powers everything in my van. There you go, it is off. Everything's off. You can see my diesel heater controller there is completely blank, so you can tell I'm not cheating. going to plug this in. Yeah, if I plug that in, see everything comes on again. So I'm going to turn everything off so it gives this a sporting chance of working. Unfortunately, this cable isn't very long. Should be able to just make that out. Right, let's do this. Let's turn it on, see what happens. Will the AC180 power my diesel heater? Give it a minute, we'll find out. So straight away we're drawing 60 watts. This should go up to about 120 watts. Here we go, 110, 122. Right, so the diesel heater glow plug is now on, so it's drawing the maximum it will draw. And once the fan starts to come in, I think they peak, most diesel heaters peak at about 130, which is over 10 amps. 10 amps, 12 volts equates to 120 watts. And that's why quite a few power packs won't actually run a diesel heater, because it does take them over their threshold. Of course, once the diesel heater picks up and starts going and it goes on to idle, the draw does drop dramatically. So it's fluctuating between 20 to 30 watts, and the diesel heater is working perfectly fine. So I think it's safe to say the Bluetti AC180 can run a diesel heater. So at 50% charge, it will run a diesel heater for 15 hours. That's long enough to keep you warm all night, I'm pretty sure. Well, there you go, it's passed the diesel heater test. Let's turn that off because we don't really need it on. Then that needs to cycle down now. I can't just unplug it because it will destroy my diesel heater. So I'll come back to you once it's cycled down. So let's unplug that. Let's concentrate now on the 1800 watt pure sine wave inverter. What I'm interested to know is, will it run my induction cooktop? Bearing in mind my induction cooktop is rated up to 2000 watts. Although I can turn the induction cooktop down to 300 watts. So let's start off with it low and then we'll turn it up and see if we can max this 1800 watt pure sine wave inverter out. First of all, let's switch it on. Let's switch it on. Right, so the induction cooktop, let's turn it on, down. Right, so let's start off with 1000 watts because we know it's going to do 1000 watts. It's actually reading 1200 watts. And here we go, the fan's kicking in and out. Let's just crank it straight up, shall we? 1400 watts. It's up to 1560 according to that. 1600 watts. It's showing 1700, it's drawing. 1800 watts. Here we go, 1844 watts. Still going. Let's turn it up. 2000 watts now. And it is up to 19. Remember, it's only rated to 18. 1900, yeah. The induction cooktop doesn't go up anymore. Wow, and I very rarely turn this up to 2000 watts. When I'm using this during like normal use, I only ever run it at 1000 watts. See how quickly that boils? This is all filmed in real time as well. So that's a cup of water boiled in no time at all. That's why I love this induction cooktop. There you go. It peaked at just over 1900 watts. So pure sine wave inverter definitely works. Well done, Bluetti. I'm really liking this. There you go, that's switched itself off now. It does take a little while to cool down. You have to leave them powered up to cool down. You can't just unplug it whilst that fan is running. A bit like a diesel heater, it needs to go through a cooling down period. So now that's cooled down, I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee. Be rude not to, right? So there you go, I hope you enjoyed that introduction to the Bluetti AC180. Quite an impressive piece of kit, but it doesn't end there because I'm really impressed in the time it took to charge this. And according to the PodPoint app, it only took 1 hour and 26 minutes to go from just over 30% to 100%. And it cost, and I'll put a screenshot up here, 22p to charge this using an electric vehicle charging point, and it put 0.8 of a kilowatt of power into this. There's a blue tit out there trying to get in my window. It's rather off-putting. Now I know this has got nothing to do with the Bluetti because there's a blue tit outside my window trying to get in. Take a look at this, look. It's actually trying to get into my van. Unbelievable. And look, not only that one, he's brought his friends along too. Well, there you go, that's the Bluetti AC180. Fantastic power station full of some really interesting features. Now at the time of filming this video it's not actually available on the market, so unfortunately I can't give you a price. But if you are interested in purchasing one of these, then I will leave a link in the description purely for your convenience. Hopefully you found this video mildly entertaining, slightly informative. If you did, then please do give it a thumbs up and I'll see you very soon. Thanks for watching, ta-ra for now.